Good, happy Saturday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. Different type of Easter egg hunt planned in Plastow. A very different type of egg hunt will be taking place in Plastow this weekend. Sandy Hook Marathon keynote speaker reacts to charity founders scandal. A man who helped raise money for a Sandy Hook charity is expected to plead guilty to 6 wire fraud charges after investigators accused him of stealing money from the foundation he started. Full Democratic caucus results for Alaska, Hawaii, Washington. Standoff in Danbury ends with arrest. One suspect was taken into custody after a domestic situation led to a standoff in Danbury Friday evening. Innis suspends congressional campaign, says family business interests come first. Republican businessman and University of New Hampshire professor Dan Innis abruptly suspended his 1st District U.S. House campaign on Friday, citing family priority ties and business interests. Company works to restore 18 Cadillacs found in barn. A company is restoring 18 Cadillacs that were found in a barn in Winchester. Couple accused of threatening juveniles suspected of burglary. A husband and wife from Goffstown were arrested after the couple threatened 2 juveniles with a gun, police said. Trump at top of ticket could affect other races. As Donald Trump inches closer to GOP presidential nomination, some wonder if he will hurt or help other Republicans down the ticket. Laundry company fined, put on probation for hacking competitor. A Somersworth laundry company that pleaded guilty to downloading a competitor's customer invoices for its own gain has been fined and put on probation. Fast food workers march on behalf of man who died in jail. Activists and co-workers for a young man who died behind bars after he was unable to post 100 bail were protesting and demanded answers Friday outside the Hillsborough County House of Corrections. Weekend looking good. A damp and chilly Friday gives way to a nice weekend. Dartmouth professor accused of child porn possession pleads guilty plea. Court documents said that a Dartmouth College professor charged with possession video contained images of child sex abuse, plans to change his plea. Raid affected Super PAC has spent $1 million attacking AOT in March alone. The outside spending on U.S. Senate race continues in a big way. Fire breaks out at Manchester apartment building. Several people were forced from their homes after an early morning apartment building fire in Manchester. Reporter in Making a Murderer says he still has questions. A television reporter who covered the case in the popular documentary Making a Murderer now lives in New Hampshire, and he said there are still questions that bother him 10 years later. Think Heidi Cruz has it bad? Just ask Rachel Jackson, Lacey Hayes, and Francine Claver. Ted Cruz is pretty angry that Donald Trump decided to go after his wife Heidi this week. He called the GOP frontrunner a sniveling coward for threatening to spill the beans on his behalf, demanding he leave Heidi the hell alone. Sanders' big rally cost big money. Bernie Sanders' revolution may be growing directly from the grass roots, but he's paying top dollars for a place where it's coming together. Belgium jihadist and the failed state. Since the Paris terror attacks last November, Belgium have struggled with the fact that jihadists born and raised in their country were among those who carried out the carnage. Now that the carnage has struck at home with Tuesday's attacks in Brussels, and after the carnage, the inevitable fingerprinting, stringent law enforcement in this divided nation, as well as lack of coordination between the 28 European Union members in fighting terrorism, and broken down runs deeper here. Belgium has long struggled to govern itself. The news website Political Tim King stirred widespread debate in December by declaring Belgium a failed state. Among the examples, it cited a failure to coordinate between the French-speaking Wallon police and their Dutch-speaking Flemish court parts. That broken down is blame in part for how long it took to catch serial child murderer Mark Dertoxi in 1990s. Reforms since then have sought to improve that communication, but language differences remain an issue. Belgium has struggled at times even to form a government as long as 2 years, most recently longer than Iraq took, while some leaders in the Flemishing North threatened to break away and form their own country. The more affluent North comparison, about 60% of the population became more powerful after the post-industry declare of the coal and steel producing woolen South. The Flemishing compelling about support and less affect South. One could liken the division to the divide by Quebec, where French-speaking separatists have some far failed to win voters there, break away from Canada. Some here suggest there should be a referendum. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday. See you back here later. Goodbye.